Think about what you ate for dinner last night. Did it meet Canada's nutrition criteria? In January 2019, Canada updated their food guide. Gone is the rainbow chart we learned from in elementary schools. Now we have a perfectly proportioned plate of fruits, veggies, meat, and carbs. Canada's first ever food guide, known as the Official Food Rules, was created back in 1942. Its purpose was to acknowledge wartime food rationing. And since 1942, Canada's food guide has been through many changes, but its central purpose of helping Canadians make healthy food choices has stayed the same. The newest version of the food guide goes a step further. It gives Canadians tips on how to eat healthy and even includes recipes for better living. While eating plenty of fruits and vegetables still holds the primary focus in this version, it's the new recommendations for protein intake that are sparking some controversy. The new food guide recommends Canadians should be looking for plant-based sources of protein rather than relying only on meat. This change comes after recent studies that link red meat to cancer and heart disease. But Canadians have been eating meat for years. So is it really that bad for you? Well, if you look at the numbers, Canadians are already eating less meat than we used to. Canada's food guide recommends no more than 2 servings of fresh meat a day for women and 3 for men. 1 serving of meat is 75 grams, but in 2016, Health Canada reported that 48% of women between 31 and 50 years old are already eating less than that. So are 69% of women older than 70 and 56% of adolescent males. Red meat is full of body-bettering things like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins A, B12, and D. Without these, we're more at risk of depression, dementia, autoimmune conditions, and even certain types of cancer.
So I have a number of people that I've worked with who don't eat meat, and some of them are thriving and some of them are not doing so well. You know, their hair is thinning, or they have really low energy or focus, and they're just not doing as well as someone else could. So I think it's about kind of tapping back into how you're feeling and understanding, is having meat something that energizes me, or is having meat something that, you know, doesn't suit me really.
But even though there are benefits to having red meat in your diet, it's important to look at the difference between meat today and meat of the past. Back in the day, animals roamed free and ate a diet consisting only of grass and natural food items. Today, some animals are born and raised in factories. And most cows, for example, are fed grains and not grass. And a lot of the meat we eat today is processed. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, this processing of red meat, which is found in bacon, sausages, and hot dogs, is linked to the development of heart disease and diabetes. When meat is preserved in these ways, substances that cause cancer can actually start to develop. Studies have shown that even eating a little less meat can improve your health. A study from Tufts University suggests that replacing 1 serving of red meat daily with fish, poultry, nuts, or low-fat dairy could lower your risk of heart disease by 13 to 30%. If you are going to eat red meat though, some research suggests you should stick to the grass-fed organic kind. This type of meat comes from animals that have been naturally fed, raised organically without added hormones or artificial chemicals. The new Canada Food Guide doesn't recommend organic or grass-fed specifically, but it does recommend choosing lean meats and poultry. And it says plant-based proteins are better for your heart because they have more fiber and less saturated fat. I think next time I'm out for dinner, I'll opt for salmon over a steak.